Welcome back to Align by Design, the podcast where we explore what it really means to live in alignment with who we are. I'm Flavie, and today we're diving into a topic that I know will resonate deeply with so many of you. It's about that inner voice, that quiet pull, the one that whispers, there's something more for you. Today's episode is all about answering the call to do something different, to trust yourself, to follow your path, even when it feels uncertain, scary, risky, or completely against the grain. Have you ever had, that feeling like there's something you are meant to do, but you're not quite sure what it is? Or worse, you're terrified to actually go after it. Maybe you are in a job that looks good on the outside, but every day feels heavier. Or maybe you've built a life that looks perfect to everyone else, but inside you feel restless, misaligned, unfulfilled, like something is missing. Here is the thing, that feeling, that's a call. And if you are anything like me, you know how easy it is to just ignore it, to push it down, to pretend it's not even here. And I know, because for so long I did the same. I was in a six-figure job in human resources, a career I'd spent years building. On paper, I had it all, the title, the salary, the success. People look at me and said, "You've made it." But inside, I was crumbling. I was chasing title, money, travel, next level, but it was never enough, and I was just losing myself. For me, answering the call didn't happen all at once. It wasn't a big, dramatic moment of walking away from my job and stepping boldly into the unknown. No, I just didn't want to hear it. Why? Because answering the call means change. It means uncertainty. It means stepping into the unknown. So let me take you back to my own journey. I was in a corporate job. I was not seeing my kids. I was constantly on the phone with my boss. And every day felt like I was living someone else's life. I was, ticking all the boxes society told me I should, but none of them felt like my boxes. I was too busy chasing the life I thought I was supposed to live, working long hours, constantly on the phone, missing dinner, missing bedtime stories, missing the very moments that matter the most. I had fought so hard to have my kids, yet I wasn't really seeing them. I was chasing everything the society told me I should want. But the truth, I was just completely unfulfilled. Then COVID hit and the world slowed down. And for the first time, I was working part-time. My afternoons were suddenly free and I found myself wondering, what should I do? I was spending real, uninterrupted time with my children. And that's when it hit me hard. I didn't know how to play with them. And I was reflecting, what kind of example am I setting for them? Am I showing them that life is not just about working, working, working until you collapse? That we trade time for money only to spend our life earning enough to pay for our health once we are retired? It felt wrong. It felt out of alignment. At the same time, something new stirred inside me. Amid all the uncertainty of the world, I felt a deep, undeniable pull to serve, to contribute, to help others. And so I listened. I started a side hustle, a small business doing life coaching and healing. At first, it was my escape, a tiny light that gave me purpose and hope. But it grew. I found my first client. I reached my first 5 figures. For the first time, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Fulfillment. A quiet voice whispered, could this be the life I meant to live? But I was just, it was just as I was standing on the edge, ready to finally quit my job and live fully into this new path. But life threw me a curveball. I discovered I was pregnant. And suddenly, everything felt uncertain again, like a tsunami crashing over me. Is it really what I want? Can I launch a business with a baby on the way? And what about the financial security? What if I fail? The doubts were loud. The fears were real. And for a moment, I froze. I didn't know anymore if I could do it, if I wanted to do it. But as the months passed, clarity began to surface. I couldn't keep living a life that didn't align with who I was. I couldn't keep chasing a version of success that was slowly draining me. I realized that I didn't want to wait any longer to choose a different path for myself, for my family, and for the future I wanted to create. So I made that decision. I waited to finish my maternity leave. And then I took the leap. I was terrified. It was so uncertain, and it was the most aligned decision I've ever made. And I won't sugarcoat it. It still was not easy. People did not understand. They said things like, but you had everything. Why would you leave that? And what if you fail? What are you doing? You have 3 kids and a baby. And what about the safety? Honestly, I asked myself exactly the same question. The doubts were so loud. But I knew that if I didn't answer the call, I would never truly feel alive. I would never know what I was capable of. And most above all, I didn't want to have a life of regret. So, I want to share with you, why do we resist? Because most of the time, we are afraid of judgment. We are afraid of failing. And we're afraid of stepping into the unknown. We have been conditioned to believe that the safe path is the right path, that success looks a certain way, that blending in is better than standing out. But here's the truth. Staying where you are, even when it feels comfortable, is not really safe at all, because staying stuck comes at a cost. It costs you your joy, your purpose, your authenticity, your fulfillment, your time. And here's the kicker. When you don't answer the call, you're not just holding back yourself. You're holding back all the people you are meant to impact. You are holding back the version of yourself that's waiting to come alive. So, maybe you are asking, how do I begin? First, listen to the whispers. The call is not loud. It's subtle. It's quite a quiet nudge. That little voice inside you says, there's more for you. You have to create the space to hear it. Second, be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I holding onto out of fears? What would I do if I was not afraid of failing or being judged or even rejected? And 3, take one small step. You don't have to see the whole path. Just take the next step. For me, that step was walking away from a job that didn't serve me. For you, it might be saying yes to a project, sharing your story, exploring a passion you've been ignoring. You are the one who knows. And 4, trust yourself. Your heart knows the way. Even when the path feels unclear, trust that you are being guided. And fifth, surround yourself with people who get it. Find a community that sees you, understands you, and supports you, because answering the call is not easy, but it's worth it. So, I want to leave you with some powerful question to reflect on. What is the call you've been hearing but afraid to answer? What fears are holding you back from stepping into your purpose? And what would your life look like if you trusted yourself and said yes to the call? Sit with those questions, journal about them, be honest with yourself. The answers are already within you. You just need to listen or feel it. And here is what I want you to remember. The call is there for a reason. It's your soul's way of guiding you back to yourself. It's not always easy. It's not always clear. But when you say yes, you open yourself to a life of alignment, purpose, and fulfillment. If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to share it with someone who might need to hear it. Together, let's inspire more women to trust themselves, follow the path, and answer the call. And until next time, stay true, stay aligned, and keep evolving.